Hello, today we're playing NeveN. This game first came out back in the spring of this year, 2022. It's about a buddy named Erik who leads his old bandmates to travel to the city of Frostfang, which is the capital of the kingdom, to participate in a musical contest that's being held by the kings. If he wins the musical contest, he becomes the royal bard. While on his way to Frostfang, he ends up meeting a new friend, an ambassador, and members of the royal court. You're leaving tomorrow? Who knows when we'll meet again? One last song, please. I scratched my chin thoughtfully. It was always I wanted to sing, but there was nothing wrong with a bit of teasing. It's much more fun than to say without hesitation. I don't know. After all, if you really care about me, I don't think you would have left me with an empty mug for so long. I stake the aforementioned mug in front of my audience as I grossly exaggerate myself, a bit dramatic, but it's part of the job. It looks like it worked. I can hear a few laughs echoing among the members of my band. My old band. Tomorrow at dawn they will leave toward the east of the kingdom while I will be traveling to the north, to the capital city, Frostfang. While paths will split, it is impossible to know when we'll be together again. The touring bands of musicians aren't known to be predictable in their path, especially Gregor's band. Innkeeper, here are long ears. Fill this mug, we'll pay them. Long ears, really? Not very original. After emptying half a barrel, I feel a bit more playful now that his lordship's mug is full. Is it possible to hear him sing? I smile while looking at my mug before finally sticking my tongue out at my companions. I look around trying to find a small fin in the crowd and nod my head when I see her. Nana, can you give me the pleasure of a melody? Sure. Do we go with something joyful? I nod briefly and answer Lana's question as he pulls her tambourine out of a satchel. I then stand up, having always preferred to perform that way. When my partner briefly closes her eyes, she concentrates and makes the brand in the shape of a circle imprint on her shoulder glove. She was lucky to wear the brand of Valeria, the goddess of light, one of the most sought-after brands among the artists. With her fingers brushed the leather of her instrument, they lead behind a trail of blue light, gently vibrating to the rhythm she begins to create. Each new note launches a wave which collides with the others, the colors varying and changing between the different waves. I can't help but be jealous, being the only member of the band who hasn't yet received his brand tends to do to you. I'm 22, it's a bit too late to be branded. Most people had theirs during their teenage years. I know it will eventually appear that one of the 12 gods will choose me. Everyone gets a brand sooner or later. My practice has never really been my strong suit, and it's starting to be a really long wait. I hope it will be worth it. Not knowing which god would choose me was frustrating. I could get the light or air brand, which would be perfect for my musical performance, or I could get the war brand, and that would be useless to me. I don't have time to think about it any longer. I have an audience to satisfy, a song to perform. After letting Liana play for a while, I hold my jaw wide and the lyrics come out in the rhythm of her music. As far as I can remember, I've always loved being in front of a crowd, dancing, singing, or just making people laugh with my own little passion. Not wanting to brag, but I'm good at it, really good. I know how to hypnotize up my audience and how to attract attention, make up for my small size with balanced energy, bouncing around like the white rabbit I am. Accompanying Lana's music, I started to sing a drinking song, which was only appropriate given our location. Each pause in the melody is the occasion to take it seriously to have fun with the crowd. I found myself quickly standing on the table, making large gestures and pointing at my companions when it's their turn to empty their mug, when they obviously do without hesitation. One after another, their voices accompanied mine, which makes me smile even more. It was my last night with these people. I fully intended to enjoy the moment until my voice would break. Now, raise your mugs and drink. Drink. Drink! As requested by the song, I entered my mug in one gulp, clicking my tongue when it's done and bowing in front of my audience. As I get up, I stick my tongue out at those who are still looking at me, and I wink at them as I come down the table. You know, Erik, I think I will never get tired of hearing you sing. Rhaegar, I was afraid I wouldn't see you again until tomorrow morning. Missing the party? Never. Plus, I wanted to see you. To talk a bit in private, if you don't mind leaving your audience, of course. Take a moment to look at the crowd and see that they are very busy emptying their munds and loudly challenging each other. I believe they can survive without me for a few minutes. As if my crowd wanted to contradict me, a sad glance reached my ears, making me wince briefly. Well, I hope they could survive without me for a few minutes. I'm starting to wonder what you'll do when I'll be gone. Rhaegar answers me with a laugh, obviously not sharing my concerns. He then beckons me to follow him, and we both go and sit at a small, secluded table, away from the noise. The Labrador sighs heavily as he sits, losing his gaze in mine. This causes me to scrunch uncomfortably in my seat. Rhaegar's eyes have always made me feel as if they were piercing straight through my head, and as if he always knew what I was thinking, even when I tried to hide it. So, Erik, are you sure you're ready for tomorrow? As ready as I can be. I know the road, although usually I'm with you. Plus, it's only a 2-day trip. I should be okay. It's precisely what worries me. It's been a long time since you were alone, and the last time, Rhaegar, no, it's not that same situation. I just wanted to make sure. I said no. I have absolutely no intention to talk about what happened 3 years ago. No, it's locked up in my head, and we don't need to talk about that again. I said Rhaegar as seriously as I can, sighing when I see the Labrador looking away. I just want to check one last time. Are you really sure you want to go? Now we always love to have you at our sides. I know this is a good opportunity. I'm proud that you are becoming independent. After all, it's the best way to prove yourself. It doesn't mean I'm happy to see you leave. I would love to stay with the band, Rhaegar, but to be a world bard, this is an opportunity I have to take unless you don't think I can win. I give him a playful look, curious to see his reaction. Don't be ridiculous. You know how I feel about your talents. Unless you get yourself into another one of those silly situations you know so well, you should win this tournament easily. I don't see what that we have to remind you what happened in Kelt. How would I know he was engaged? When Tenerian? I thought it was an accident. Marmion? Oh well, I get it. I promise not to slip in any other bed but mine by the end of the contest. How does that sound to you? I guess that's all I can hope for. Seriously though, Erik, try not to create a diplomatic incident, okay? Mumble and shrug as I answer. Sure, there has been a few instances before, but I was perfectly capable of controlling myself. He makes me look like a much bigger pervert than I am. There's a moment of silence between us, but that doesn't bother me. We've known each other long enough that we've been accustomed to these moments. When I look up to him again, I see a smile stretching his chops, and I feel like joining him. Hey, Rhaegar? Yeah? I want to thank you. Thank me? Why? For everything you've done, for welcoming me into the band. I don't think I've told you before, so I really wanted to do it before I left. I don't know where I would be if you hadn't found me in. I'm interrupted by Rhaegar's big paw, resting on my shoulder, stroking me gently between the ears. The Labrador gives me a reassuring look, his gaze in mine, and I can feel tears forming in my eyes. Shit, I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Get yourself together, Erik. You don't have to say it. Having you with us has been a pleasure. And very complicated at first, I'm not going to lie to you. It caused a few surprises, but it was a pleasure nonetheless. The best way to thank me is to go to Frostfang, press the kings, and become the court board. Make us proud, Erik. That's all I ask for you. He would draw his paw before smiling at me. As I felt my cheeks flush under my fur, I was going to miss Rhaegar once I was gone. I had no doubts about that. That lovely little moment quickly stops when I see Rhaegar smile wide even more. His white fangs now almost entirely built on his chops. Oh no, he always makes that face when he's about to embarrass me. Now, if you really want to make me happy, Rhaegar, you can always find a sweet boyfriend there, something lasting, you know. Rhaegar, please. I shove over my seat, getting lower and lower as I try to hide behind the table. This is not the first time Waco has brought up the subject. I know exactly where he plans to go next. I really don't want to talk about it. Me even think about adopting kids, I could teach them not to be like their father. Please, Waco, stop it. I'm way too young to think about that, and I don't want to have kids anyway. I value my freedom. Who knows, it could be an opportunity for me to settle down somewhere once and for all. It could be Grandpa Waco and... Alright, it's time to get out here. I need stuff to escape. We look at that. It's getting pretty late. I think it's time to go to sleep. I have a long road ahead of me. Very subtle, Erik. Very subtle. I get up quickly so that the Labrador doesn't have the time to convince me to stay, but I'm interrupted by his laugh. He's obviously got what he wanted. It was way too late to hide my embarrassment. Before you go to sleep, Erwin wants to see you. Erwin, do you know why? I believe he has a gift for you. Erwin's one of the caravan's guards responsible for taxing during the tours. We get along quite well, but he didn't strike me as the kind of guy to give parting gifts. He's upstairs, so you'll run into him anyway. I'll see what he wants from me. Good night, Waco, and try to keep in touch with me, okay? I promise you'll see each other again soon enough. Goodbye, Erik, and good luck. With one last look, I finally leave the Labrador behind me. It's kind of strange. I am both excited and sad about this separation. After all, I could become a world bard. It was an opportunity not to be missed, even more so because I was sure I was good enough to win that tournament. But at the same time, I've known Waco, Erwin, and the rest of the band for the past 3 years. 3 years without being alone, never having to think about my problems. I just had to enjoy the moment. Do I really want to leave? After all, nobody can blame me for staying with my family, right? And living a good life here with them. But they all had it easy, so I can't follow them. There's no way I'm going back there. No, I made my decision. It's hard to leave this comfortable life, but I have to. After all, I'm only going to be alone during the trip. I have no doubt that once in Frostfang, I'll be surrounded by a lot of good people. It's the capital city, after all. It must be bursting with life. I shake myself before heading up the stairs. Erwin is waiting for me, after all, and I have to admit that I'm quite curious as to see what he wants to give me. Once upstairs, I can see the wolf leaning against the wall, watching me with a dead serious stare. It took a long time to come. You just told me you wanted to see me, so you have a present for me? I knew you loved me deep down. Erwin grunts and rolls his eyes. Look at that. Copyright? And I was deciding not to give you anything, especially if that's the only reason you came to see me. Don't be like that. You're my favorite girl, I would have come to say goodbye anyway. The gift was just the ice on the cake. You have the big Waco smile, making myself as charming as possible. Being cute is one of my biggest perks, and I always use that advantage. I sure hope you would. Do you know how sad a wolf can get when left alone? Before I have time to react, Erwin grabs me by the hips to hug me tightly. For one brief moment, I think about resisting, but finally, I hug him back. This is the last time he can do this for a while, so might as well let him enjoy it. Plus, I'm not going to complain. You get to be snuggled up against the muscular chest of a big wolf after all. Erwin and I had a few days together. Never anything serious. We quickly came to the conclusion that being friends with benefits was the best situation for both of us. So this kind of closeness was not uncommon between us. In fact, it was even really welcome in the moment. I also hope you will miss me once you get to the big city. Won't you forget your favorite guard? I will make an effort to try to remember you. It might be difficult though. After all, I'll be at the royal court. I'm sure there are plenty of other guards just as attracted to you. If I had anything to help me remember it, then it would certainly be much easier to think about you. I get it. Okay. You want your present? I stick my tongue out playfully. He knows I'm not patient at the thought of receiving a gift doesn't help in that regard. He puts me away while grabbing his belt and doing it in front of me. I can't help but chuckle at his little self. Oh, that kind of gift. You could at least wait until we're in the bedroom. I'm not sure everyone would like to stumble upon that kind of performance. What? What are you talking? Oh. I see the wolf's ears drop instantly as he blushes slightly. I don't get to embarrass him often enough. I was glad I did. That was quite the sight. Try not to think of your cock, will you? You can understand why I could be confused. Why Why are you taking your belt off exactly? Because you're going to need it. Here, it's for you. He hands his belt, but still has a scabbard attached to it, and his sword teeth inside. I look with at his wide smile, trying to understand why he's so proud of himself. Thank you. I always appreciate a gift, but you forgot your sword. You're going to need it, and I've got plenty of weapons, so don't worry about me. I look at the boy dubiously, giving Erik that exact same look. You know I don't like weapons, don't you? I'm not particularly good with a sword anyway. That was never my thing. What do you want? What? You will take it. It's not negotiable. Eric's tone is suddenly much more serious. It's strange. He never talks to me like that usually. Why does he want me to have a weapon so badly? You're going to be all alone on the road. You don't even have a brand to defend yourself. There's no way you're leaving like that. So, you take that sword, you keep it at your side. If need be, you use it. I taught you the basics so you can fight. I sincerely hope you don't have to, but I will not let you go without meaning to defend yourself. That's all. I grumble slightly and end up pulling on the belt, tying it to my waist. Obviously, it's not my size, so I have to tighten it up to the maximum, and even then, I feel like it doesn't fit perfectly. I feel absolutely ridiculous running this. I hope you are aware of that. You are exaggerating. If you weren't so cute, you would almost be impressive almost. Erik smiles, showing his fangs as he briefly raises his eyebrows. I can't help but sigh. Subtlety has never been his strength when it came to seduction. It's not with a bare flirt that you're going to prove how I see myself. You know exactly what I look like. Maybe that could win me my parting gift, right? Oh, so there wasn't enough reason you took your belt off then, and there I was, believing your thoughts were pure for once. Well, if I'm not going to be able to appreciate that fine wiggling ass of yours for a while. That's what was keeping me walking during our trips. Let me have it one last time. You're a real wordsmith, Erwin, a true gentleman. It doesn't mean that you refuse my offer. Touche. I'm obviously never against having a little fun, especially when with someone so physically pleasing. But I just promised Rhaegar I will not sleep with anyone until the end of the contest. Plus, I really needed a bit of sleep, since I'm going to walk a lot tomorrow. On the other hand, the likelihood of initiating a diplomatic incident while sleeping with Erwin is pretty low. Besides, everyone knows you sleep better after a bit of fun, right? As tempting as it sounds, I really need to sleep. I'll fully attend to so Rhaegar that I can keep my word. It doesn't mean I can't have a little fun though, especially if it's at someone else's expense. I press my chest against Rhaegar's and slowly slide my fingers towards his crotch. The cheeks are growing bump under his pants. Raise my muzzle to his ears, I softly whisper as I feel his fur bristle from the goosebumps. With a quick glance behind him, I can see his tail waggling frantically. Canines are so easy to weave. Good night, Erwin. I hope it won't be too hard to sleep without me. Keep this warm for me until we meet again, okay? I gently squeezed Erwin's crotch and burst out laughing, seeing his surprised face before pulling back and sticking my tongue out, proud of my little prank. Erik, you little shit. If you had put a bit more effort into your attempt at seduction, maybe you would have been luckier. I swear you're going to get yourself killed one of these days with your bullshit. I'll die doing what I love then. With those words of wisdom, dear friend, enjoy the sight of those buns you love so much. I'm going to bed. I turn around and hear a soft growl, which makes me laugh again. Poor little Erwin. I would almost feel sad for him. I then head to my room while overly swaying my hips. Might as well offer a little show to this hungry wolf. I'm sure he will appreciate it. Once alone in my room and lying in my bed, I take a moment to reflect on and reconsider my decisions. Not that I have any doubt I'm doing the good choice, but leaving my troop behind means bound to change my life drastically. The real question is whether I'm up to the task. I don't want to be homeless again just because I made a stupid decision. I turn around, burying my head in my pillow. Too late to turn back anyway. The best thing to do now is to sleep and be ready for tomorrow. I open my eyes, having no idea where I am. It looks like some sort of cave or a circular cellar. Around me are 12 thrones, carved into the rock, arranged in a circle. I can't see any trace of a door or window, no way out. I can feel the panic starting to settle. I don't know how I got there, and I don't know how to leave. As I open my mouth to call for help, I realize I can't make any sound. I can't move either. What the fuck is going on? Where is this place? Who are you? And what are you doing here? A deep voice echoes through the cave. I can't see where it's coming from. There's no trace of worry in a manly voice, only curiosity. It doesn't really reassure me. In front of me, the sound suddenly begins to take shape, forming a creature that almost looks like someone. In front of me, the sounds suddenly seem to take shape, forming a creature that almost looks like someone. I don't know how, but I immediately understand. This shape I see, these bones materializing, is someone's brain, the gigantic brain of a really, really powerful person. I feel like my heart is going to explode in my chest. I have never been so terrified in my life. Hush, little one. I'm not here to hurt you. I can't. It's all just a dream after all. We risk nothing in our dreams. It's well known. The voice comes out of the saddle. I don't know what this is, but I can feel it watching me from head to toe, spreading every part of my body, almost medically. Don't you have a plan yet? Interesting. You shouldn't have access to this place, unless... I understand now. You are the four, aren't you? That's going to make things a lot more interesting. What are the four? What are you talking about? What's happening? I'm trying to think about an answer and understand it. I finally said one word. It's a dream. Nothing said here makes any sense or has any impact. That thought calms me down a bit. You're a little early to the party, so go back to sleep and don't think about it anymore. It's just a real dream, and that you will soon forget. With each new word coming from the south, I feel my eyelids grow heavy. I struggle to stay awake, not wanting to fall asleep in this forsaken place in front of a stranger. We'll meet again, and then the real game can begin. I sink like a stone in the water and fall back into a dreamless sleep. In front of my room is a set of small bags and other items. I can see pieces of cake, cookies, and a few nuts. Those were parting gifts that my companions couldn't give me yesterday. A wild smile stretched my lips, and I had to make an effort to hold back a tear. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Thank you. I can't stop smiling while picking up my presents, slipping them into the free space left in my backpack. I just keep a bag of cookies in my paw. I will put those delicious gifts to good use soon enough. It'll save me having to pay for lunch. I hope I can thank you one day. Behind our house, there was a mountain. Me and my spouse climbing under the rain, going there. But the guards is difficult. I swear. It could kill an adult. I see the last lines with a hint of impatience in my voice. I've been walking for hours now, and I'm sincerely starting to get sick of it. It started to snow 2 hours earlier. My feet are soaked, and I'm starting to feel cold. On top of that, I'm quickly exhausting my classical repertoire, and I'm going to have to switch to body songs that I want to keep busy. That's not necessarily something I want to do alone in the middle of the road. I must admit that when I left in the morning, I expected a lot of things, but certainly not to be that bored. During my trips, I usually sing my truth. I play card games and I discuss. While traveling solo, my options are limited, so I find myself singing alone, doomed to only be able to exchange a few words with the even fewer travels I make from time to time. It's pretty hard to come up with interesting variations of "It's getting cold, I hope you have a good trip" during the few sentences of discussion I'm trying to enjoy. Come on, Erik, let's stay focused. Think about your goal. You're about to enter Frostfang. You're going to enter this contest. Cross the competition and become a world board. So lift your hand and keep walking at least a little longer before enjoying a little bit of rest. Determined, I lift my leg to take a new step, and I feel my pocket stuck in something. Oh no. Please not again. As the time has slowed down, I feel my body propelled by its momentum, leaning more and more dangerously forward as I see the snowy ground closing on me. I barely have time to put my hands in front of me to try to soften the fall before I find myself with my muzzle buried in the snow. That's it. I can't take it anymore. I give up. The gods have also decided it's my fate to stay on the ground. Who am I to fight against their will? Congratulations, you won. Now that I've accepted my destiny, can I have my brand, please? No answer, which hardly surprising. One can still keep on dreaming, I guess. Well, I can't really spend my daily life in the snow. I would have to. What's this? I'm pretty sure this thing I tripped on just moved, and I'm absolutely sure that the branches in the ground aren't supposed to move by themselves. Help. It spoke. Oh no, it's someone. I ran to someone. But for fuck. As quickly as possible, the Gilbert turned to look at the mass buried under a thin layer of snow. At least my father allowed me to find the person whom I tripped, and who continues to talk weakly. I cleared as much snow as possible from the unfortunate stranger, weakly knowing that he was the Falcon. I then stay focused on my task, having bigger problems right now rather than figuring out what he's doing here. Considering the way he shakes and whispers while having clothes that aren't intended for the season, it looks like he's in hypothermia. I have to do something now. Okay, Erik, stay focused. You prepare yourself for this kind of situation. You know what to do. I have to get the Falcon out of the snow right now to keep him awake and to warm him up. Hey, I'm here. I'll help you. Hey, I'm here. I'll help you. But now I need you to talk to me. Understood? Stay awake is important. Cold. Yes, it's cold, but I will warm you up. Don't worry. I didn't need an answer. I wanted to keep his mind occupied without waiting for an answer. Quick when my paws shit. It's wet with snow. You can't stay that way. The clothes are wet. I have to take them off. Are you okay with it? No answer. That's bad. I have to hurry. I look at the sides of the road, trying to find a less exposed place to secure the Falcon. A few minutes from my possession, I finally see a patch of dirt below a few trees partially protected it from the snowfall. It's far from perfect, but it will do. We're going to move to a dry place. Try to hold on to me. Still no answer. I set my arm under the Falcon's shoulder to carry him as best as I can. While he's starting to feel him trying, without much success, to tighten his grip. Around me, he can still move. That's a small victory itself. The process is neither easy nor pleasant, but I have no time to complain. Once I arrive, I quickly rummage through my bag to pull out a blanket and throw it on the ground. I don't exactly have time to pitch my tent yet. We'll do with what we have. The blanket should be cold, and I hope the fact will be too soon enough. I lay him down and start removing his shirt, which seems to wake him up a bit. He opens a tired eye, which makes it seem like he's looking up at me without seeing me. What are you doing? The clothes are soaked. You'll never be able to get warm with that, so I'm going to remove them. Give you one of my shirts and bundle you up in a blanket. Then I'm going to start a fire to keep you warm. I'm sure it's something we will both enjoy. Thank you. We only hope he stays awake now. Falling asleep in this kind of situation is rarely a good sign. I quickly finished removing the Falcon's clothes, but before pulling my spare outfit out of my bag. He's taller than me, but that will do for now. Once the stranger is dressed again, I roll him up in the blanket and take the time to observe him a little more closely. It's quite rare that we see this species in our region. This kind of falcons really don't like the temperatures here, with a few rare exceptions, but I don't often have the opportunity to see them from that close. His feathers seem quite strange to me. They look incredibly smooth and soft. However, the weirdest thing about him are his eyes, or rather, what's under them. The gold thread that underlies each of his eyes seems directly attached to the feathers themselves, almost as if it's a natural part of his plumage. I've never seen it before, but I've heard about it, and I know the means of such decoration. My mysterious stranger is not a citizen of the kingdom. He's Macadian, and this simple fact makes him even more interesting to me. However, he will only be interesting as long as he is alive. Let's not rush things. I have a small packets hanging on the side of my bag, revealing a series of branches of straw. That's all I need to start a fire, at least until I find a few dry branches. I quickly build the base of my fire while turning to the falcon to start the suction. My name is Erik, by the way. What's yours? I can't. Ha, I knew it. You're Macadian, right? Yes. Isn't that obvious? The gold under your eyes, as only Macadian would walk around so scantily clad in this kind of weather. Are you used to the heat of the desert? Not to our good old cold. I smiled, trying to cheer him up with the hope of at least a slight grin. Alas, I only went aside. This look at my orange is quite difficult to please. I usually have better reactions. I guess you're right. I didn't expect the weather to be so cold. Thanks for finding me and everything else. Everyone would have done the same. You're just lucky I ran into you. Literally, in that case. I'm trying my best winking this time. Ha! I smile very discreet, but it's here. My self-proclaimed legendary sense of humor strikes again. Thanks to God for that indeed. Things could have been a lot worse. It takes a few seconds to look around as I strike some stones with my lyre, producing a few sparks which quickly ignite the straw and gentle heat spraying slowly around us. I can't see my loot. Did he put someone safe? Your loot. I give him a puzzled look, having no idea what he's talking about, and I can see the interrogation in his eyes quickly be replaced by sheer panic. I had loot with me. Tell me you picked it up, please. I don't think I saw anything. I was kind of busy trying to get you out of the snow. Save your life, you know, all this and all that. All I have for answers is an anguished moan. He obviously cares very much about his loot. I sigh as I get up, pointing my finger at him. I'm going to take a look and try to find it. You don't do anything silly, and you don't move. You have to warm up, okay? He answered me by grumbling. Wait, I hope I'll get his instrument back because I'm not traveling with a grumpy falcon. Going back to where I found him, I keep my eyes on the snow-covered road. Instruments are my specialty, but I know that a prolonged stay in this environment will do it no good. As soon as I find his loot, the bear it will be for both it and for his owner. Not to mention that with the sun starting to set, I can feel the temperature dropping, and even I am starting to feel cold. I would greatly appreciate being near the fire quickly. After a few moments of womanship, I finally spot a bump in the snow. Please be his God's forsaken instrument. In an instant, I bend down, blood sauce of smoke accumulated on the instrument in the cat's bed. Thinking about it, it's strange that he didn't worry about his belongings after all. Once I feel the neck little under my fingers, I lift it up and take a quick glance at the instrument to look at its condition and, oh fuck, I understand his concern now. Who is this guy? How could he afford this? It's clearly the most beautiful instrument I've been able to lay my eyes upon. The wood is completely black. I think it's called ebony. I believe it's the word. I've seen such material once, but I know I've tried to impress us with a piece of furniture that cost him a fortune. On top of that, the wood is finely etched with a series of curves and circles that emphasize the shapes of the loot. It's covered with a layer of cyan varnish, which seems to have totally protected the instrument from the snow. I can also see that there are gold threads decorating some of the engravings, contrast with the dark color of the wood, and the end result is absolutely stunning. And clearly very, very expensive. I could sell it and live more comfortably for months, maybe even a year. Where is that cat's story down there? How could he put his talents on such a treasure? Did he find it? I must have spent more time than I thought looking at the loot. I get up quickly before heading back toward our camp. Yeah, I found your loot and get back to it. Everything seems to be in good condition, so no need to worry. I couldn't come close to the campfire while Cat is busy rubbing his arms and attempt to warm up. I would avoid doing that if I were you. I know it looks like a good idea, but believe me, it's not. What are you talking about? Your arms, you're going to warm up too quick. It's not good for you. Just sit still and let the warmth of the fire do its job. I will almost heat some water so that you have something hot to drink. Oh, thanks, I didn't know. Welcome, even here in the north, it's not common knowledge. It's not common knowledge. It's a reflex to try to warm up after all. I probably saw hand him his bag and his loot. If he barely glances his belongings before throwing them on the ground, he generally takes his instrument and inspects it from all angles, slowly sliding his fingers on the curves of the wood. Your arms, you're going to warm up too quickly. It's not good for you. Just sit still and let the warmth of the fire do its job. But also heat some water so that you have something hot to drink. Oh, thanks, I didn't know. You're welcome. Even here in the north, it's not common knowledge. It's a reflex to try to warm up after all. Our problem being solved, I hand him his bag and his loot. He barely glances at his belongings before throwing them on the ground. He gently takes his instrument and inspects it from all angles, slowly sliding his fingers along the curves of the wood. He clearly cares about this loot, and now that I've seen it, I can fully understand him. If I had such a masterfully crafted work of art between my hands, I'm sure I would take care of it with the utmost respect as well. Hey, Cat, can I ask you a question? Oh yeah, so what do you want to know? It's been a while since I've been in business now, and I've never seen a loot like this. How do you manage to have something like that? It's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I can understand why. Wait, which business? Are you a musician too? And it was. I did not have time to properly introduce myself. I bowed at him with a big smile, mimicking an exaggerated reverence as I looked into his eyes. Erik from Ghana, singer, dancer, and wanderer. Nice to meet you. I lowered my head briefly and I stuck my tongue out at the falcon. He was kind enough to laugh briefly. At least we seemed to be getting off on the right foot. Well, Erik from Ghana, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I always appreciate the presence of another art connoisseur, although I'm afraid that I am just a lute player. A musician and a singer, we are made to get along. It would appear so. That doesn't answer my question though. I know a bunch of musicians who would be willing to kill someone to get that loot. How did you came into possession of it? This story might not be as exciting as you think. For a few years I was a musician for a Macedonian general, an old man once by the wars he had waged and exhausted by them. He loved his music. He loved my music. He would call me to his room just to play something until he fell asleep. He's the one who gave me this loot, to thank me for what I was doing with him. At least that's what he told me at the time. How did you end up here? He seemed to take good care of you. I need a change of scenery to see the world. I know this hesitation, but I'm not going to dig any further. We just met. If he doesn't feel like answering me, I'm not going to force it. However, being a musician on the road to Frostfang at the same time as me, that can only mean one thing. It seems that I have met my first competitor. So, I guess you're on your way to the capital to try to become the next royal bard, am I right? That's why I've heard about the contest organized for the two kings of Lustum and Air, and I couldn't miss such an opportunity. In that case, I hope you're ready to see me win. Oh, really? Do you think you can do better than me? Well, I already have experience in a court. The cat smiles as he looks at me. He encourages this little contest and everything between us. I smile back at him while stuffing snow in an iron bin before placing it on the fire. Before you think that, I never had to sing in front of the nobility, Because you think that I never had to sing in front of the nobility, Now, know that I had the pleasure of giving public and private performances to the greatest nobles of the kingdom. But you never had royalty on his did you? He looks at me on himself. I was waiting for an answer. Honestly, what am I supposed to say to that? Of course I never played for a king. I try to find some witty remark, but it looks like this time I have to concede to victory to the cat. No, but it's the first time for everything. He smiles at me and I see him blinking kindly. With all of this chatting, I almost forgot that he must be exhausted after the voluntary damage of snow. But I can't allow him to sleep, not yet. He would have to drink something first just to get some heat in his stomach. After briefly rummaging through my bag, I pull out a small pouch of weed, a mixture of nail, mint and sage, and toss the pins into the belts of snow on the fire. I know you're tired, but try to wake up. Stay awake a little longer, will you? You need to drink something warm. Alright. He yawns loudly after answering. He looks really drained from everything. Don't make me slap you to keep your eyes open. You wouldn't dare. You'll be surprised to see what I dare do. I did my best to try and look threatening and only get one of the most dubious looks in response. I guess looking scary being a white rabbit half the size of everyone around you is more complicated than I thought. After a few seconds we look at each other with trembling lips, we both burst out laughing. When I just met him, I got along strangely well with a cat. I guess saving someone's life can make things easier. I finally take out my cup, filling it with the herbal tea that I had worn before giving it to the falcon. He holds it for a moment between his talons. The warmth of the beverage must do him good. When I was busy drinking and warming up, I quickly set the tent hanging from my bed so we can at least sleep in some form of shelter. After a while, I start to hear a noise and turn around and see a cat with his head lowered to his chest, snoring softly, his talons still tightly clamping his cup. At least he will have drunk something. I hope he doesn't get sick now. I just had to finish setting up the tent, put us both inside it, and I can fall asleep too. I hope there will be no bad dreams this time. I really don't need this right now. There's no denying it. Traveling with someone is clearly much more pleasant. Especially because the cat is a good companion. Sure, he doesn't have a clue how to walk in the snow, but at least he doesn't spend his time complaining. I remember a trip with a musician who kept crying over anything and everything. It's too cold, we walk too much, we don't have enough beer. I was glad we were going to kick him out of the band as fast as he did. We got out relatively early and were able to walk a lot. We were in the middle of the afternoon and, unless I'm mistaken, we still have an hour left to walk before reaching the capital. Frostfang, I've never been there. I'm really curious about what the city looks like. In the distance in front of us, we can always see the mountain behind the city, the Fang, which gives it its name. Erik, do you already know where you plan to sleep once you get there? Guess you can't just pitch your tent in the middle of the street, do you? Shouldn't be a problem. Most inns will give us a room in exchange for our services. We'll just have to offer them a little ballad and we'll have our beds for the night. Do you want me to stay with you? Why not? Besides, I don't know the city more than you do, so if it means being lost, we might as well be lost together, right? Not to mention that I saved your life and I haven't had my reward yet. No way I'll let you go until it's done. I look at him with a grin as he rolls his eyes, and yet he is smiling just as much as I am. Guess I'm stuck with you for a while then. You say that like I'm annoying. You break my heart, kid. I'm actually sure you will get over it. Considering the traveling boy's reputation, I think you know it all when it comes to broken hearts. I try to look overly shocked. How dare you consider that the traveling boy's reputation as reduces the price of us all? Well, alright, it's true when it comes to me, but that's not the point. I'm about to answer when he interrupts me and I walk by grabbing my arm, pointing in front of him. Looks like there's someone sitting a little further down the road. Looking where our cat is pointing at, and yes, it looks like there is someone there. Someone who now seems to be beckoning us. Looks like he saw us. Do you think he needs help? I guess. I'm not sure why someone would be sitting like that, waiting out strangers if you didn't need it. It's quite a coincidence that on a 2-day trip I ran into 2 people who need my help. At least this one seems to have managed not to fall in the snow. Now that I think about it, it's a bit too much of a coincidence to my taste. It would be the first time I've seen someone that try to skin travelers this way. If he passes himself off as injured, so I appear to let their guard down. He could stab us once if we were close enough. We can take a look, but let's be careful. Why, do you think there's something wrong? Let's just say that all the strangers on the wall are not necessarily bird-brained mechanics. It takes a second for him to realize what I just said. I have the satisfaction of seeing the surprise look on his face. As he gets closer, I can make out more of a mysterious stranger. He looks like a dog, a husky, and sitting on the walk by the side of the road, rubbing his ankle with one paw, waving at us with the other. I'm quite reassured at the sight of the emblem he wears on his leather armor, a bear's head with his maw wide open, bearing silvery fangs on a field of black. Frostfang's coral arms. He's probably one of the city guards patrolling the area. It's strange to see him sit alone by the side of the road, though. Hey, can you help me? I stepped on a patch of ice and I think I twisted my ankle. I think it happened at least once to everyone I know. It's never pleasant. I hope he hasn't sprained himself or worse. Hey, we'll give you a hand, don't worry. You're the first one I have to save from the cold-related incident today. I can't. A playful smile as he looks away. If he thinks I'm not going to use this to annoy him as much as I can, he is pretty mistaken. Thank you so much. Are you on your way to the capital? He turns his injured leg towards me, while keeping his paw on his ankle as I lean forward. I'm honestly neither a healer nor an herbalist, but I've seen my share of sprains before, so I should at least be able to tell if it's something serious or not. Indeed, we hope to arrive soon. It was a long journey. Oh, really? Guess you must have taken a lot of things with you to travel then. I suddenly stopped. There's something wrong. First, the dog is tying his fingers against his ankle. Secondly, it's pretty clear that he's trying to hide the wound. Finally, I really don't like the way you pronounce that last sentence. It's just the edge of my fears. I hear the distinctive sound pause, walk on the snow coming from behind us. Shit. Erik, I think we have a problem. I know. The husky quickly gets up as he draws a knife from under his coat. The bastard wasn't hurt at all. On top of that, the emblem on his chest disappears in a faint glow of light. I'm wearing an alara. Fuck. It looks like I'm the fool this time. Boss, do you see that? I told you it would work. Look at the bird, he even has gold on his face. Yeah, I saw that, Jacker. Well done, boy. The voice comes from behind us, trigger an avalanche. My first instinct is to tell myself that the guy who just spoke with make one hell of a baritone. My second thought is that we are in big trouble if he is as huge as his voice suggests. When I turn around, I have confirmation that both my thoughts are correct. In front of me stands an absolutely gigantic bull with a sword resting on his shoulder. He smiles cruelly at me when our eyes meet. Next to him is another husky also smiling. For now, there are 3 of them, but there might be more. Yeah, we're screwed. My prey instincts take over for a brief moment, and the only thing on my mind is to flee right now. But I have no escape room, no place to run. A brief glance at the cat also informs me that I probably can't expect anything from him. The falcon seems absolutely terrifying. The way the Reverend sword reminds me of his presence and of the wolf's teachings. I don't think I could beat 3 opponents at the same time, but I could hurt one of them or one. I'm pretty quick, and the falcons are supposed to be quick too. It could work. That's on the assumption that I'm able to win against one of them before the others can react. Am I willing to take the risk? Everyone trained me for this kind of situation after all. If he ever finds out that I gave up while trying to defend myself just a tiny bit, I'm pretty sure he would kick my ass right away. I slide my paw into the grip of the weapon. I quickly pull it out of its scabbard, pointing still at the bull. His reaction is more or less what I expected. He suddenly laughs right in front of me, visibly unimpressed with my sword. Ooh, did you learn to claw, little bunny? Are you sure you want to use that toy against us? He brandishes his own blade in front of him, and I can't help but swallow in fear. He's really huge and a lot stronger than me. I hope I didn't screw up. If you really want to play, I'll be happy to put you in your place. It can still end now a drop of blood though, kitty. Erik, I'm not sure that's a good idea. If you have a bad one, I'll take it. Keep my eyes fixed on the board, trying to remember what Aaron tried to teach me about sword fighting. I wish I listened to what he was saying rather than being focused on his commentary and brace. You hold onto your weapon tight, but you also keep your wrist flexible. You wouldn't want to be disarmed at the first strike. It's a rapier. Your goal is to pierce your weak point, not to slice it. You'll never win if it comes to brute force real quick, so learn that straight. Easier said than done, Ruggles Erik. If there's time when you need to succeed in something, it's now. I hear chuckles around me. Obviously, no one's worried about a rabbit hole and rapier. I have to admit that I understand them. I wouldn't be impressed either. Let's go. We just want to get the Frostfang. Oh, no problem. Empty your purse and give us everything you have of value. We'll let it go very nicely. I'd rather keep my stuff, if you don't mind. I hope you know how to use your blade then. But something tells me that's not really the case. Alright, I wasn't really hoping to get out of this situation that easily, but everyone can dream, right? I take a deep breath. I have to strike swiftly, but not too obviously. At least that's what Aaron taught me. After all, I don't need to kill anyone. I just have to wound one and one. I thrust forward quickly and sharp as I can. I should manage to hit my opponent's step before he has time to react. The bull's blade clashed heavily against mine, which throws my arm to the side. Now that I acquire pain, my fingers loosen, and my weapon sinks into the snow beside me. Fuck. I look up at the bull who's smiling at me. Then I'm almost disappointed that it's over so quickly. It then turned briefly to a cat. The balcony is staring at me desperately. I wish I could have done more, but I'm out of ideas. But God witness me. I tried, so I can. You already done? I think you made a big deal out of it. You made your life a lot harder for nothing. Boys, boss, should we teach the bunny a little lesson so it's a bad idea to stand in the way of stronger men than he is? There's only a music ground response, but I know exactly what that means. Instinctively, I move my arms up to protect my face, hoping to lessen the force of the blows I will receive. The only good thing is that it will hopefully give a cat a chance to get away while they take care of me. At least if I can take the beatings, it won't all be for nothing. I can see a glow through the bull's clothes and flames rise up along his horns, covering them with fire and blazing as if to prolong each of them. Great, I'm going to die here, charred by an asshole for trying to be a hero. The bull approaches. I close my eyes. Hopefully it will be quick, but I don't want to see what happens to me. Time seems to stop as I hear a high-pitched noise. It seems like some sort of joyous whistling coming from behind me. No, there are three of them. Now let's be honest, I never really paid attention to what Earl was telling me during practice. I was way too busy paying attention to his bare chest. My charm was always my biggest strength, and I don't see why it will be any different this time. It's up to me to try and talk my way out of this shitty situation. I briefly signal a cat to get behind me. I hope he gets the message. There's this jocker behind me. One enemy is better than two. Come on, Erik. It's just a cell like any other. You played this character hundreds of times. Put a bit charming smile on, a playful glint in your eyes, and off you go. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to meet you. As you can see, it would seem that your companion is feeling perfectly healthy after all. I therefore suggest that we say goodbye to each other and that we all go our separate paths. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a cat now. I guess I can't expect too much from him right now. It must be the first time he's been in this kind of situation. Unfortunately, I can't say the same, but before, I could count on Earl and the rest of the band to protect me. Really? I don't know. I'm sure you could help us out. I'm sure you could help us a bit more. A small donation to help poor travelers. I'm afraid we're as poor as you are. So if you would just let us through in, how about we stop the bullshit, buddy? Your little speech will work a whole lot better if your buddy didn't have gold over his face. There that cat who was scratching the fine gold lines under his eyes with the end of a talon. Shit, how could I forget? He had that. Look, we don't want any trouble. We really have nothing of value, and all we want is to get to Frostfang. I'm sure we can find a way to. I made a run about to start paying a monster. I stepped back before falling to the ground, my ass in the snow. My invention's blurred for a while. I run my paw over my nose, quickly feeling it covered in hot liquid. When I look at my fingers, they are stained red. The bull is now over me. Fist outstretched, a satisfied smile on the face. Now I finally understand what happened. He just hit me with a punch in the nose. It fucking hurts. Why do I start shaking? As I look at my opponent, several ones through me, and I finally get it. I'm just as terrified as a cat. Now that I have no control over what's to come, all I can do is show my fear. Here's a liquor that pleases me a lot more. The little speech was fine for a moment, but it was quickly getting tiring. I much prefer you like that. I stared there, staring at him, shaking out the strength to say anything. I should be trying to protect myself, to do something. Why can't I find anything to say? Why am I unable to fight back? I turned my head to the cat, who seems to be in the same situation as me. No help from this side. I'm all alone. I'm absolutely alone. I'm absolutely totally alone. Once again, I see a glow through the bull's clothes, and flames rise up along his horns, covering them with fire, raising as if to belong each of them. Wait, I'm going to die here. Tried by an asshole trying to be smart. When the bull approaches me, I close my eyes. Hopefully, it will be quick. I don't want to see what happens to me. Time seems to stop as I hear a high-pitched noise. It sounds like some sort of joyous whistling come from behind me. I dare to open my eyes. Again, despite my fear of being killed by the bandit, but he seems as surprised as I am, looking at the direction from which the sound came. I turn around and try to figure out what's going on, and I find myself displaying an expressive disbelief mixed with a glimmer of hope. About 10 minutes behind me, one of the strangest duels I've had the chance to see in my life. The larger two strangers of the Black Panther, for what I can guess, it's pretty hard to tell considering most of his body is covered in plain armor mixed with thick fur. Even his muzzle hanging on some sort of metallic mask, with very little more than his ears and the lower part of his jaw. This at least has the merit of highlighting his dark yellow eyes, staring menacingly at the group of bandits. Despite the warrior's appearance, it is the person next to him who is the strangest. This one seems to be the exact opposite of the Panther. With a paw resting nonchalantly on his hip, Lizard smiles as he watches us. He seems to make up for all the armor his feline partner wears, since he appears to be almost naked. He sports what appears to be a feather loincloth, as well as a gold and jeweled necklace and armbands. I have no idea how this guy hasn't turned icicle yet. Not only is it cold enough to freeze the snow on our paws, but he's also a reptile. There is a reason why they are certainly aware of Frostfang. They are much less tolerant of low temperatures than most other species, and there he is practically naked and perfectly comfortable with both paws planted in the snow without any protection. What the fuck? While my poor brain is still trying to comprehend and register the various shocks I've experienced since this morning, the reptile takes a few steps forward and speaks up. Good. Now that I have your attention, it looks like we walked into an unfortunate situation. What do you say we try to work this out as gentlemen? I have a better idea. How about I cut your hair off and shove it up your ass? Unfortunately, I'm afraid that's not an option. You see, I have a hard time walking past two cute guys in distress without wanting to protect them. Two cute guys. I'm the first to accept a compliment, but I'm not sure now is the time to flirt. I guess it's easier for the lizard to joke around, but he's not the one standing next to a short-wielding bull with flaming horns. A counter-proposal. Lay down your weapons and get out of here. I have no desire to resort to violence, and I'm sure we will all appreciate being able to put this whole situation behind us. The armored panther growled slightly to support the lizard. There are more of us now, and the warrior seems able to handle several bandits on his own. That might be enough to try our attackers. As I begin to hope that things can be settled peacefully, I feel myself pulled and thrown by the bull into the arms of the dog next to him. The lad grabs me by the chest, holding me against him with one paw, while I feel something thin and cold flying against me. slowly going up towards my head. Oh no, I think he's getting ready to slit my throat. Calm down, don't move, and most importantly, don't try to bullshit your way out of the situation. I don't think you understand the situation you're in, scaly ass. Now 1, illegal jewelry here, otherwise the rabbit dies. My eyes roam around the landscape in front of me, looking for a situation, something to do to get me out of the situation. The cat is now kneeling in the snow, a panic expression on his face as he silently cries. There's no point in looking for help now. There's no point in looking for help there now. I had to find something to get us out of here, but that search is quickly interrupted when my eyes meet those of Lizard. He smiles at me briefly, tries to reassure me, I guess. It doesn't work. I feel myself trembling under the grip of the bandit who threatens me. I'm totally at his mercy, powerless. Oh, what be said with Harold speaks again, a boiled look on his face. Ooh, I wouldn't have done that if I were you. Hey, at least I tried. The cat. Lizard's last words shouted out. And a few moments later, I can hear a slight hiss, followed by a thud. The dog lets out a soft sigh. I can feel something warm running down my shoulder. Turning my head, I can see my curve turn dark red as my attacker's grip loosens. The knife falls to the ground as the husky with it collapses into the snow, which also turns red. An arrow is stuck in his throat, shot with such force that it almost went through it. He is dead. I have his blood on me. He is dead. I hurt myself, trying not to say anymore. Come on, Erik. This is not the first time you see a corpse. It's not the first time. It's also not the first time you had someone else's blood on you either. No, sorry, I'm not going there. I need a distraction, something to occupy my mind. Quick. A returning noise comes from behind me. Perfect, exactly what I needed. When I turn around, I see that the panther is now holding his longsword, pointing it at the bull. For the first time since their intervention, I can hear his deep voice. Last chance. Put down your weapons. There's no need for more suffering. To execute, thank you, but I'd rather try my luck right now. As the bull speaks, the fire on his horn seems to intensify. Then it forms a single large flame that is projected in the direction of the armored feline. While I expected the panther trying to avoid the projectile, or at least activate his own brand, he just stands there, letting the flames reach him. A split second before the warriors hit, the fire just seems to disappear as if it wasn't there to begin with. What a brand here? Oh, so that's what it is. A bearer of the brand of a Walker, god of war, whose only power is to prevent other brands from working. Though I strongly aware, this is the first time I had the chance to see one. Chaka, get out of here. I'll keep him busy. But, boss, one. The husky lets out a growl before turning around and he starts to ride away from our rescuers. He only has time to take a few steps before an arrow hits him in the back, quickly followed by a second one in the neck. Just like his partner, the dog collapses in the snow after the first shot, more in pain before the second arrow finishes the job. The bull roars in rage upon seeing his henchman on the ground. The flames on his horns blaze even more, forming a crown of fire around his skull. Heat spraying around him, melting the snow and destroying the air. I'll kill you all! Before he can do anything, the panther confronts him. The man's horse is incredibly fast for someone carrying so much metal on him. The bandit barely has time to raise his weapon to brought down his opponent, with clashes of their blades breaking the icy silence. Try to kill me first. The two warriors gauge each other. They are done talking. Now they shall let their swords speak for them. And the panther has almost artistic grace, twirling around the bull while hitting the least protected parts of his body. The bandit takes advantage of his size to try to keep the distance with his opponent in order to take advantage of his reach. The bull so easily crushes his opponent with his strength alone, and yet each of his blows seem to be deflected or dodged as if the masked warrior is flying on his steel. Seconds seem to have turned to hours in this deadly ballet, but it's clear the feeling has advanced. In fact, even It even looks like he's playing with the ball, taking sadistic pleasure in inflicting small cuts along his calves when his guard is up, and then cut his shoulders and arms when he lowers his weapon. And finally, tired of this game, and taking advantage of the bandit's weakening, the panther steps aside, cuts the tendons at the back of his knee, forcing him to kneel down. He puts his sword down on the tiger's neck and partially cut off his head, leaving it hanging by a strip of flesh, and a second slash cuts it clean. I remain petrified by this vision, so much so that I don't even realize that the lizard is now next to me. I jump when I feel his paw on my shoulder. I turn around to see and give me a sympathetic smile. Hey, sorry about that. You can relax a bit. They will not harm you anymore. He offers me more. He offers me another heartfelt smile. I wish I could have joined him, but I can't even bring myself to grin. There is something deeply reassuring about being around someone who seems to be in control of the situation. I think I'll be fine. Thank you for everything. He pats me gently on the shoulders, visibly trying to reassure me. The gesture is more than welcome. This day has been a total disaster. I try to calm down as I replay the fight as it spreads in my head. Well, the more I come to myself, the more I ask myself if I can calm down. Fight. It was a slaughter. Your friend is impressive. Yeah, he held back. He could have finished much faster. I guess he wanted to have some fun. But the end result is disappointing. But let's focus on you for now, okay? He winks at me, probably to force my attention on him. Not that he needs much to catch my eye. He's more than pleasantly built, and his outfit leaves little to imagination. He dips his paws in the snow, keeping a fan about in his cupped hands, within seconds only steaming water remains. Wait, another organ blind user. Looks like it's their day. I doubt you want to walk around with blood all over you for the rest of the day. It's not going to wash it all away, but it should make you a little cleaner unless you prefer the blade savage style. He laughs briefly before pouring the hot water on my blood-soaked shoulder. Without waiting for an answer, I like to avoid getting even more soaked than I already am. But he has a point. I'd much rather not have this on me. As a wub, I wouldn't slightly at the thought that this blood is from someone else. Not that I would like it to be mine either. Once the cleaning is done, I turn my head to look at the panther who wipes his blade before slipping it in a scabbard. You know, this would be a good time to take care of your companion. He doesn't look great. My companion? For a second, I don't understand what he's talking about. And suddenly, it comes back to me. A cat. I forgot about a cat. I was too absorbed in what was happening to me to think about the falcon. Come on, Erik. You're not supposed to do that anymore. The carrion is still kneeling in the snow in some kind of trance. He's staring at the silver head of the bull, dripping with blood, a look of panic on his face. I should do something. Have to move and help him. Thanks again for everything. I have to go. The lizard nods as I walks off to join Cat, kneeling in front of him and trying to get his attention. As soon as he realizes I'm there, the falcon grabs me by the shoulders and pulls me against him before squeezing me as hard as he can. I almost lose my breath, surprised by this sudden display of affection. Erik, I was so scared I couldn't do anything. I didn't know what to do. I could not help you, and I thought that I'm going to let him talk for now, while holding my hands, gently stroking his head. I don't think a cat needs me to say anything right now. He mostly needs to let out all his tension and fear. More than anything, he just needs me to be there. After a moment's silence, he raises his beak to give me a worried look, staring at the stain on my coat. But, are you okay? I'm perfectly fine. Not even a scratch. It's over now. Nothing to worry about, okay? What? What if there are other bandits? What if there's something else? And I feel him sick in my arms. He's clearly not able to think straight anymore. He's worried about everything. I have to find a way to calm him down. I remember something, and a smile naturally comes to me. I know what to do. I can't. Can you do something for me? Close your eyes for a moment. What? I don't see how that would help. Trust me, okay? I promise you'll be fine. I like to make sure that he does what I ask. I didn't clear my throat before I start singing. It's been so long, I hope I'm not going to make a mistake in the lyrics. Don't fear the howling wind, nor the sounds of your mind. 1,000 stars will shine, 1,000 more will smile. Here comes Argon and Ilaria. Here comes NeveN and Manasseh. There's no light without morning, and soon the sun will be soaring. I repeat the lullaby over and over again as long as I feel cat chewing my arms. Astonishing, I haven't heard it for probably over 15 years now. It came back to me as if I had sung it yesterday. Its straightaway memory seemed to work. The fat cat's grip loosened slightly as he relaxes in my arms, so I stopped singing. It's a nice song. You have a very beautiful voice. Thank you. I told you I was going to win the contest, didn't I? Look at him. Glad I managed to calm him down at least a little. If it hadn't worked, I honestly have no idea what I would have done. And for the song, it's just an old lullaby from my home region. My grandfather used to sing it to me when I was a kid. Whenever I was afraid of something, he would tell me to close my eyes and listen, just like I asked you to do. It seemed to work on you too, I guess. Thanks, Erik. I'm sorry. Hey, believe me, we'll lose control sooner or later. You don't have to apologize. I looked at him before looking away, coughing slightly. There's one last little detail to take care of. So, now that I don't appreciate the hug, but I must admit that I'm starting to get cold with my ass in the snow. How will you let it get off of me so that we can stand up together? After immense pleasure, I see that cat blush deeply as he lets go of me as fast as he can. Hey, you can't be cute when he's embarrassed. No, you probably regular. You must restrain yourself, at least for now. As we get out, I hear a noise from the trees on the side of the road. Someone's heading our way. My ears turn to the source of the sound. I instinctively prepare to flee. Get out of there. You're scaring them. All this violence wasn't enough. I breathe a deep sigh will leave him. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a cat doing the same. It's reassuring to see that I'm not the only one on edge. If a little noise in the trees was enough to scare them, walking along the road without anyone to protect them was a terrible idea. The voice is deep and steady. I even say it's monotonous, almost bored. A few seconds later, I can see someone come out of the trees, and I have to make a conscious effort not to show my surprise. He's the largest stag I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, I have to look up just to have a chance to meet his eyes. This guy is absolutely massive. And as if to further emphasize the pressing gifts, he is carrying a gigantic bow. The weapon is almost his size. How does he manage to shoot anything with that? When my gaze blinking meets his, the only thing I can see on his face is an expression of pure boredom. Then he rolls his eyes before walking away to retrieve his arrows and from the bandit's corpse, while totally annoying me. It's not exactly a feeling I'm used to or I hate it. My eyes remain fixed on the stag, and I've searched for a way to make him acknowledge my presence in a somewhat subtle way, of course. However, I'm interrupted in my thoughts when the lizard clasps his hands, drawing all eyes at him. This may seem a tad abrupt, but I think we should leave as quickly as possible as opposed to whether they can breathe, but it's already late and Frostfang is close by. Oh, yes, I've had myself thoughts for the day. Lizard lands at my rest. However, before he can speak, a panther in armor comes and stands our way, taking the time to observe us for the first time. This allows me to spot something rather unusual. He stares at us, with a quiz of curiosity. His right eyes move rapidly, while the left remains completely still, staring straight ahead. There's something slightly unsettling in the gaze. In his gaze, I can't help but let a shiver run down my spine. I also know something else about when the cat catches his eye. A brief moment his pupil seems to dilate before he regains control of himself. Was it surprise? I'm not sure. Syed. I catch reactions swift. Rarely have I seen an Anthrocan move his head so quickly to signal his disagreement. It's quite impressive. I wonder how fast he can go. Oh, no. It's a cat. Just a cat. Nothing else, please. There's a brief moment of silence and I would appreciate it if someone would fill me in on what just happened. My eyes flicker from the path of the falcon, hoping one of them will make a move. There's an armored warrior who finally speaks, this time dressed as scaly companion. My lord, I wish to stay behind. Will you mind letting me discuss with a cat? The lizard looks puzzled for a moment before shrugging as if he doesn't care. You do what you want, as long as you catch up with us once your private talk is over. Without hesitating for a reaction, the lizard strides down the snowy road, followed rather quickly by the stag, while I stand there hesitating whether to follow them too or stay with a cat, no panther. You can go. I promise I'll be fine. Are you sure I can stay with you if you prefer? Don't worry, I'm sure we'll just talk. Close on, I'll explain everything later. So be it. Try to hurry, okay? I wouldn't want to have to pull you out with a pile of snow again because you stood there too long. I wink at him and look in the direction of the panther, who completely annoys me, his attention fixed on the cat. He paused he would explain what was going on here. I hope it's nothing serious. He ended up having to rush to join the other two, quickly approaching the stag with something on my mind. I have not forgotten how you completely annoyed me until now, sir, and I intend to make sure that changes. The closer I get to the stag, the more I realize that not only does he have a slender body, but on top of that, his antlers will affirm his already impressive stature. But in contrast to his elegance, I can see large scars running through his fur, and the huge bow he holds on his back always reminds me that I have a killer in front of me. As I move to approach him, I see his ears swivel slightly in my direction. At least he acknowledges my presence this time. Hey, looks like I owe you my life. Nice shot, way more effective than I am with this. I try to handle Irwin's rapier to emphasize my point, which makes the stag's head turn in my direction. It gives me a most unimpressed look, to say the least. The stag responds with a grunt. I don't know if he is naturally aloof or if something's bothering him. I intend to find out. Yeah, before I have time to open my mouth, the hunter finally answers me for good. It was stupid to think you could get away with what you did. You have confirmed to these bandits that you are easy prey. Do I really look like a warrior? They would have killed me on the spot if I had tried anything. They would have killed you anyway. It's in their interest not to let anyone escape their attacks alive. Other travelers have been there before you. Oh, sorry. Please forgive me for traveling the country without patrols and play by banditry. My interlocutor doesn't even answer anymore. He just grunts again before sulking in silence for several minutes. However, to my great surprise, it's him who starts our discussion. We do our best to make this place welcoming, and we know very well that there's still a long way to go to achieve this. The sad pause again in silence, visibly annoyed. I didn't mean to offend you, it's just that I don't understand how people can let themselves die like that, especially by killing a sword. I just tried to do it my way. I'm a charming negotiator, not a warrior. I'm confident in my abilities. I know what I'm capable of. You were willing to sacrifice your life and that of your friend out of overconfidence. Now it's my turn to glare at him. What's his problem? Are you really going to lecture me when I don't even know your name? I know Frostfangs can be tactless at times, but my name's Ricard, and I will lack tact as long as it saves lives. I'm not used to others depending on me, Ricard. You said it yourself, I'm a helpless prey. I'm the one who puts my life in the paws of others, usually. I'm an entertainer, that's why I'm good at. Teach their place in this world. I know very damn well what mine is. I have a hard time saying those words as my throat tightens. I know my own weaknesses. I've grown up with them, yet I'm still affected when I cannot do anything about a difficult situation. I look up at Mr. Stag's eyes. He looks at me with pity. I understand that you did your best, but here you can't stay like this. The capital will eat you alive. So what am I supposed to do? Even I'm trained, I don't exactly have the body of a warrior. You're a herbivore, but you're lucky enough to have a body built for physical tasks. I don't think you're missing much to survive out there, Someone's trained you with that sort, right? You just need practice. Now it's my turn to grumble, as I think about wondering what he would have said if he had seen me fail so miserably. For once, I'm glad the wolf isn't here. If by practice you mean I have to face real opponents, I think you underestimate my abilities. Much like you, I can't afford to be covered in scars. My body is part of my job after all. Oh no. You can have real opponents with fake weapons. That's how recruits for training Frostfang. There's no risk of death or serious injury this way, but it can be humiliating to get smacked on the ass with a wooden stick, I suppose. I can't help but giggle immaturely, and I feel my spirit lightening in the process. I'm sure I can find a way to take over this conversation now. Look at the kind with the music I say in a joking tone. Well, depending on the situation, I wouldn't mind a stick on my ass. Yeah, that wouldn't be my first time. The stag, who has been more or less unfazed as far, feels a blush slightly under his fur as he realizes it implicates his own words. It is like you are not, so tell after all, Mr. Grumpy Horns. He suddenly tries to hide his blush while clearing his throat. I'm very serious. Don't be surprised if your training is painful. Stop looking at me with that stupid smile. This remark only encourages me to continue. I'm far too happy that the subject matter has changed and unsuccessful extraction of a difficult situation, Erik. After another moment of silence, punctuated by the sound of our footsteps in the snow, I allow myself to speak again. With the road ahead of us, I might as well try to socialize a bit. How interesting is it to be the warrior hunter? There are pros and cons. It's a stable job, so I guess it's always more than I can hope for. Let's focus, Erik. You're able to carry this conversation and make sure there's an actual discussion with Mr. Grumpyhorn to trust you. But what do you do exactly? Well, besides hunting, I guess. Bringing meat to the king's table is part of the job, but it's far from my own occupation. As you can see, I also serve as a guide for nobles who want their adrenaline fix and avoid prey to harming men. Surprisingly, this stag allows himself not amused looking in my direction. This is the second time he has saw any semblance of emotion, and it reassures me a little. Then, when the kingdom needs an altar for its little competitions, the king sends me. I hate the big curiosity for the cell bombs and to hear them grasp every time arrow hits the roof. The cat winces for a moment. His mouth twisted in disgust. I can't help but laugh at this expression, which makes him immediately throw out a more serious face. Enough about me. So you're here for the competition? What are you exactly? A bar minstrel? I never really understood the difference, to be honest. And the stag suddenly interested me. My eyes widen in surprise before I can pull myself together. If there's one thing I like to talk about is myself, so I straighten up a bit. I put a look on my face. Victory. It can be curious after all. I will say that traveling bard would be my favorite way to name a profession. In the satisfying curiosity, I think a minstrel some sort of entertainment for the nobles, whereas I feel more like an artist. The hunter sneered before looking at me quizzically, some perplexity in his eyes. If you win the contest, you become a warrior bard. Isn't kind of the same thing in the end? My king's are open-minded, but that doesn't mean you will be able to do whatever you want just because you feel like an artist. They are fair, unlike most nobles, but just as demanding. Oh, I've never had a problem having the nose in my pocket. After all, a big part of the job is charming people and being likable, and seriously, who can say no to that face? I grin as much as I can before trying to look cute, quite pleased with myself. This is the kind of method that gives you far many places, but things are different here. Actions speak louder than words. Could easily be the model of the kingdom. I hope you're as great a singer as you are a hustler, because you won't win them over with your tricks. Just. I have utmost confidence in my talents, and since you believe that actions speak louder than words, I'll simply beat the competition before your very eyes. And then, worst case scenario, I have other assets. I wiggle my eyebrows at him with a look for innuendo. It sits on the ass part of the word assets when I pronounce it. He had seemed to hold back from one's eyes the second time. A gesture of appreciation for my inner charm, saying, I'm sure you like to smell your asses, but I must say, I'm curious about your favorite friend. He doesn't look too good. Oh, I can't. Actually, I don't know. I can call him friend. Not yet, anyway. We just met. He was lost in the snow, and I helped him a bit. The bear's attack shook him up a bit. I hope I can reassure him for good. I don't know what. What's the panther's name, by the way? Gilead. I don't know what Gilead wants with him, but I can't was always looking bear when I left him. He's became rather friendly, good traveling companion, after all. He's also a good competitor. Then I know people who would not have hesitated to let him die out there, just to have a better chance of winning. Then first of all, his rescue does not jeopardize my victory, even if it did. Well, I say to him anyway. I know the world well enough to understand that good friends are worth more than any reward. His friend companion can't help but smile. Sadly enough, he quickly loses his good mood. He gazes off into the distance. It looks like a man's break through this cell, but it doesn't last. I guess that's a nice way to look at life, but you're still prepared for disappointment. See my questioning look, the stat shakes his muscle as if he's waking up. Sorry, I'm very tired. I'm sure you'll enjoy Frostfang. There's many things to do in the capital. Even though I'm curious to ask him more about the city, this is clearly not the time that he says, so I turn my gaze to the green lizard before asking, who is him? And him, who is he? A scaly-ass stranger from the Empire, named Tanakh. Is he here for the competition too? I have a hard time seeing what an Imperial Noble is doing in Frostfang, especially in such a light outfit. I have no idea what he's doing there, but I've never heard him sing, and I'm pretty sure he only knows how to play a flute, and I don't mean the instrument. He looks at his eye. Tanakh eventually catches my eye and smiles at me teasingly before asking to nothing happened. I think I understand why you might have issues with him, but he seems nice. Well, I don't necessarily have issues with him. We come from very different worlds, that's all. Hearing a noise behind us, I turn around and see the panther moving quickly in our direction. I'm trying to catch up with us, accompanied by a cat who almost wants to keep up with the feline. This Gillen, how well do you know him? He's pretty well equipped, but not like any other soldier. He's a damn good warrior, one of the best in Frostfang. I wouldn't mess with him if I were you. You better please him as much as the kings, because he weighs heavy on their citizens, but I imagine that the great charmer that you are would easily succeed in doing so. The cat sneezed without even glancing at me. He knows where to hit. He knows where to hit, that bastard, but I also happen to know how to defend myself. I'll show him that I'm not an easy target. At least as long as we play my game. Of course, it'll be easy. My chance have already won you over after all. The stag lets out a long sigh of desperation before giving me a stern look. Just because we're having a nice chat doesn't mean you've already earned my trust, little boy. I hear you, but I'm sure deep down you like me. He grunts and focuses on the horizon, obviously enjoying the sudden silence. It seems I went a little too far in my teasing this time. Nothing irreparable, but I hope deep down that it won't affect our relationship. After all, I like this grubby hunter, and it's fun to struggle a bit to win people over. As the silence between us drags on, my gaze naturally shifts to Tanakh's back. The lizard is the only bright splash of color amidst the snow. After all, it's only to be a spider that catches my eye. And the fact that he wears light clothing, but he has little to imagination. Pawns not to touch. I never say that. Looking. This is naturally my gaze goes to the lizard's tail, which is slowly swaying with each step, and I notice something rather strange. Two long black lines run across his tail from the tip to the base. This could be his brand, of course, but the brand of organ is a triangle pointing upwards, not just lines. I continue to follow the lines of the lizard's appendage before I set my eyes upon the base of his tail, and that's where I realized my mistake. That is indeed his brand, his very, very big brand. Across his back is a huge triangle, the base of which is at the level of his loins, and the top of which is lost behind the feathery decorations around his neck. Dozens of small lines go through the shape, occasionally blending with the lines of Tanakh's scales. Damn, this blend is absolutely colossal. You're probably able to make some pretty incredible flames. As I scan the lines on his back, they seem to turn on, slightly glowing, a sign that their owner is activating his blend. Suddenly, a small flame flickers in the middle of his back, and then slowly ascends, guiding me to Noc's head, which he has turned in my direction. A big smile on his lips. When our eyes meet, he gives me a playful wink. Fuck, he can't be watching. This day is truly fantastic through and through. I feel myself blush and I look away before I hear the laughter of the lizard in front of me. Hey, if I didn't want people to watch, I wouldn't be wearing this outfit. Well, at least he doesn't take it too badly. Let's see how far I can go with him. I'm curious, that's all. I don't see a blend of this thickness every day. I'm sure the thickness of my blend is the only thing that made you curious. He slows down to join me, matching his walking pace to mine while keeping a smile. Oh, seems like someone's in a playful mood. Alright, let's play. I'm not the one to turn down this kind of challenge. Really? We've only met and you're already attributing such thoughts to me? I assure you that nothing of the sort has crossed my mind. Usually you don't blush when you're caught staring at someone without an ulterior motive. Maybe I'm just very shy. Who knows? I guarantee you that I'm all about chastity and purity, sir. As a brief pause, we both burst out laughing. After the tiring day I've had, it feels good to be able to relax a bit. It was a pleasure to meet you, dear sir. You who are so pure, do not. I know. Picard told me. Name's Erik. Oh, really? You're getting my curiosity, but what did Picard say about me? If there's anything negative, I'm bound to deny it vehemently. To be true, he didn't say much. He's not exactly the most communicative Anthrokin I've come across. He told me you're from the Empire, that you are a nobleman or something like that, but that's about it, really. The Knock smiles even more while listening to me. I guess he's glad the stag went easy on him. I'll keep negative comments to myself for now. No need to bother to knock with it. A nobleman? I guess that's one way to look at it. Actually, I'm an ambassador of the Kazal Empire. Well, you commonly call it Empire, and I'm working in Frostfang at the moment. I've been here for 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, ambassador. I didn't know the Empire sent diplomats here. To be honest, we don't send just any diplomat, just one, me. Most of the others refuse to come, too cold for their fragile little scales. I gave him a brief glance. He adjusted his outfit. I still have no idea how he survives in this attire. At first I thought he was using his brand to warm up, but it's not currently active. How do you do that? I mean, it's freezing and you're really not wearing much. Curiously, I hope you don't expect me to tell you all of my little secrets right from the start. I like a bit of mystery. It's okay to be curious, isn't it? But that doesn't mean I gotta give an answer. He chuckles, clearly amused by my frustration with his little guessing game. Alright, then keep your secrets, I'll find out eventually. So you're here for the competition, I suppose? I heard that you were a singer, and that your companions walk around with a lute. I'm not just here for the competition, I'm here to win it. Oh, so much confidence, I like that. It might be more difficult than you think. I know a thing or two about it. Oh, really? What do you know exactly? Well, I'm on the jury, so I know pretty much everything. After all, my homeland is known for its love of the arts, so it makes sense for me to be a judge in such a competition. Oh, and that's the first impression I give to someone who's going to judge me. He's going to judge one of the turning points of my life. Absolutely, totally perfect. This day is getting better and better. I guess that makes sense. Yes, and let's be honest, kings have city taste anyway. I pause for a brief moment, my eyes fixed on the lizard, who stops after a few steps. Give me a confused look. I didn't expect that. I don't think I've ever heard someone criticize royalty so openly. Granted, the top is terrific, but still. What? Don't give me that look. They're not perfect. I'll even go as far as to say that they're allowed to have flaws. It's not like I personally insulted them. I can't help it if they don't know anything about music. Aeon only knows a few military marches and ballad songs, and Lust seems unable to relax and party even if his life depends on it. He talks about the two kings with such nonchalance that it's strange. It sounds like he's just talking about two old friends of his. You know them? I mean, personally? Oh, of course, I know them. I'm ambassador for them. My job is to talk to them daily. I see. I'm starting to wonder if Tanak is bullshitting me, or at least if he's not exaggerating reality. I'm the first to embellish my songs as well as my parties, but you have to know when to stop. I hope that everything you see today will not have the influence of opinion on me during the competition. Don't worry, I know how to stay impartial. Now, if you want to earn a few extra points, we can always work something out. He smiles at me with a look of full in the window. In response, I imitate for kind with my eyes. I prefer to win on my own merits. Contrary to some women, being cute isn't enough to make a boy fall in love with you. Really? That's good to know. In some ways, I like that. What do you like? That was this your charms? Well, at least you want to show your abilities without going to the easy way, and that's more than I can say for the other competitors. I think I would have been a little disappointed you had said in my altar. He smiles politely after giving me what I think was a compliment. It looks like we're getting along pretty well so far. We continue walking through the snow, advancing towards the capital. Again, and Gilead and now joins the Panther taking the lead in our procession, while the Falcon comes to my side. He looks exhausted. I can't really blame him too. At least he seems to have calmed down since our last conversation. He's just tired now. Hopefully this whole experience won't leave too much of a mark on him. Now, I have to admit that I am really curious about what happened between him and Gilead. I say this like reassure him about the attack. Doesn't he owe me the truth? So you feel better? I can't get my sideways glance followed by a timid smile. He doesn't look entirely honest, but he looks better. I'll be fine eventually. I just need a little time. It's not really something I'm used to. I can only imagine. I'm sorry you had to go through that, and that I couldn't protect you. I should have. No. Don't apologize. At least you tried to do something. That's right, great, Erik. You were there to reassure him and try to get some information. You're making him feel even worse than before. Just thinking about something to fix the situation. Hey, don't worry about that. And on the bright side, although misadventure has given me more inspiration, I can sing about how I bravely saved the life of a poor McCain, and he was attacked by fearsome bandits. May I also give your role to a female though. Downs on distress stories usually work better. I hope you don't mind. I went in his direction with a smile. It takes him a few seconds, but he eventually joins me, much more timidly though. That's still a win in my book. For a beautiful song, I'm willing to accept the sacrifice, I guess. My opponents will write the most beautiful song, or at least try to write it. Songwriting isn't exactly my specialty, but he doesn't need to know that right away. If you don't mind though, can I ask you what you're talking about with Gilead? If you want to talk about it, of course. Or it's just that he mistook me for something or not. He lived in Mackay for a while, and he thought I was someone else, that's it. Gilead doesn't look Maccayan. It's weird. Well, honestly, it's hard to say that when the path is covered from head to toe and all that metal, but it's typically a very given outfit, just taken to the extreme. I never would have guessed. I suppose you got talking about the cat then. Yeah, a little bit. We didn't live in the same region. The kingdom was so big, so we didn't have much in common. He sighed softly. As I'm about to speak to him again, I made the weather about to know who comes to a halt in front of us. I'll promise so. Close your eyes. Again? Yes, again. I promise it's worth it. I just want you to see something the way it should be seen. Surprised, I raised my eyebrows, almost in unison. Again, I look at each other and struggle before turning back to knock. If you think it's worth it, so be it. Guide us to this wonderful thing you want to show us so much. I close my eyes and hold my paw out in front of me, quickly feeling Tanak's fingers around mine. It's strange. Tanak's feels are really warm. As if he had just warmed them up by a fire. It's far from being unpleasant, and I can't understand how he does it. Reptiles usually have a really hard time retaining heat, so feeling one of them warming my palms feels unnatural. But don't have time to dwell on that. Canuck starts pulling me behind him. I had to concentrate and keep my eyes closed. I'm a little afraid of tripping over something I've had myself falls lately. After a few meters, we finally turn white. I can feel the cold wind hitting my face. It feels like we come out of the cover of the woods. It can only mean one thing. Gentlemen, you can open your eyes. Let me offer you to see a Frostfang. I open my eyes and for a moment I'm dazzled by the light fed off the snow. I manage to see again. The first thing that appears before me is Tanak's smile, his arms outstretched as the bear present the view. Then behind him, Frostfang. The sea curves the side of a huge mountain above it. The sea is surrounded by a stone wall with several tall towers. The top of most of these towers seem to be covered with a layer of ice, glistening in the light of the setting sun like a beacon guiding travelers through the coming shadow. Several gates open onto wide, densely populated roads. The main city gate, however, is easily noticeable, for it is flanked by two huge statues, one depicting a bear and the other a tiger, both wearing finely crafted armor. This is how a king's lust and aeon welcome any visitor to the capital. From our position, we can also see some buildings that stand out of the west behind the walls. Closest to us is the Temple of the 12, recognizable by its large white needle topped by a 12-pointed star, the symbol of the gods in our faith. It would better keep its location in mind when my grandfather appears. It will be the priest who will teach me how to use it, after all. And finally, in the farthest part of the city, slightly overhanging the mountainside, the royal palace. From its position it dominates the city, silently watching over it. Now I understand why Tanakh wanted it to be a surprise. The view is absolutely stunning. Wow, that's really beautiful. The cat doesn't say anything, but I'm sure he's just as impressed as I am. Tanakh chuckles softly, obviously proud of himself, and in fact, his surprise on us. Yes, it's very nice. Can we move on now? The cat's intervention pulled me out of a trance in which the sight of the city seemed to have plunged me. Can you at least let us enjoy the moment? What a killjoy you are. You can spend your days having fun and not give a say about anything as much as you want, but that's not the case for everyone, and still have work to do. You need to learn to relax, you know? The cat wants to continue walking along the wall. I guess the view loses its charm after a while, but honestly, I don't know how I could ever get tired of it.